I'm going to go ahead and start the YouTube highlight from right here. It's Thursday. This is the weekly tank talk. Usually we have a tank from the Reddit contest coming in here, but this week, since I've gotten a lot of questions in regards to the beta and tanking, we're going to just devote an hour of the show to doing that. And you know, as Tuesday, we went over Death Knights and Paladins on Tuesday. That's uploaded to YouTube. This will be uploaded to YouTube after we're done here. And today we're going to be going over warriors and druids. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with druids. I'm going to go ahead and hop on here. And we're going to go to a target. I mean, I'm just going to give you guys an overview. I'm going to go ahead and full screen this. Give you an overview of... There. Gotta remove some of the stuff I had it moved around. Alright. Okie dokie. Here we go. Back in the mix here. This is a Guardian Druid. Now what's gonna happen here? The way that, if any of you are new and haven't seen the show or seen what we're talking about with tanks and things like that, what happens now is as Druid, they're the only class with 4 specs. Alright, you've got Guardian and then Feral. The old Feral is now Cat only. The new tank class is called a Guardian Druid. Okay, when you spec in a Guardian Druid, Savage Defense is no longer your mastery, it is now an ability. Okay, and the way this works, you can go Bear Form here, and it costs 55 Rage. It's not on cooldown. I mean 1.5 seconds, whatever. That's the global. Okay, so you're gonna hit Savage Defense, and it's going to be a buff that you keep active on yourself. And you see it here. It's active for 6 seconds, and it reduces all damage by 40%. So it's more or less a block. You know how you saw the the prop paladins with the Shield of the Righteousness proc giving the block uptime. That's the same thing with the druids with the Savage Defense. Okay, and one of the things I'll just trim through these, and bounce around a little bit. But one of the things that they kind of did with the druid, there's no more pulverize. That's kind of taken out. Now it has the, like I said, a lot of changes. One of them being the Savage Defense, Vengeance, same thing as the rest of the stuff. Your stun now is no longer Bash. It's called Bear Hug. It's on a 1-minute cooldown. And the way that this works here, you're going to see me stun this. And now I can't move. Okay, you're rooted next to the mob for the duration of the stun. So it's kind of like... but the benefit of it is it deals 10% of the druid's health in damage. Okay, so it deals an actual decent amount of damage when you bear stun something. I'm not sure if the target can't be stunned if it still does the damage. I'm not sure about that. That's something I'll have to test. Yeah, moving on from that, Thrash, still the same thing. Thick Hide, this is your armor bonus and your crit reduction bonus. That's basically like the DK's version of improved blood presence and things like that. Yeah, Primal Fury, that was one of the talents. Berserk, same shit. Leader of the Pack, Enrage, none of that stuff's really changing. Skull Bash is your interrupt, and every interrupt now in Cataclysm is going to be on a 15-second cooldown instead of 10. And you guys are asking about the reduction on Savage Defense. It is physical. All blocks, Savage Defense, Blood Shield, all that across the board for every tank is physical only. Now there's a couple of cool things that they did to druids, and I'm going to get to that in a second. Okay, I'm going to go over the mastery for the druid. Okay, and what it does is it increases your armor. Alright, so like a paladin and a warrior, it increases your block. As a druid, you're increasing your armor, which is kind of really strong, to be honest, because it's there for every single hit. You're not going to be able to block cap on a warrior or a paladin. So it's kind of going to be like, well, you're increasing your block, but you're still going to be able to take that massive hit. The thing that's going to be really strong about a druid, if this stays the way that it is a druid is just going to constantly be taking that reduced damage. You know what I mean? It's not going to be any spikiness to their gameplay, if that makes any sense, okay? So that's the new mastery for a bear. Yes, you still have Mangle. It's just not a baseline, like, listed thing in here. As you see my bars, most of the stuff's still the same. You still have Swipe, still have Maul, still have still have Thrash, still have Lacerate, still have Feral Charge, Growl. There's no more AoE taunt for a bear. They kind of removed AoE taunts from every single class. They removed the Prop Paladin's Trip taunt, the Druid's AoE taunt, the Warrior's AoE taunt, and of course Death Knights never had an AoE taunt. But some of the tanks you can spec into an AoE taunt. The Death Knight level 90, you could actually use a talent point on that, but I probably won't end up picking that. Like I said to you guys, I'd probably pick the AoE damage stuff. We'll get to the Druid talents in a second. A couple of things, let me see. This new one here, this is not Demo Roar. This is... Actually, don't even know why I have that on the bar there. The way this works, this is like Intimidating Shout for a Druid. It's 30 seconds, you cast it, and the target is disoriented. Let's see. Invokes the Spirit of Ursula to roar, disorienting all enemies within 10 yards for 3 seconds. Okay? So it's more or less just a group CC. Don't really know why you would need that when tanking. I'm sure it could come in play at some point, depending on what mobs are able to use it. Okay? And like I said earlier in the show, is the Druids actually had the most additions to what's going on, and we're about to get to that, right? I was just going over some of these baseline stuff. We're going to take a quick look at talents. Okay, and I know you guys can't really see this top row because of where my webcam is, the very top left one. I can hover over it and you can still read the tooltip though, so I apologize about that, can't really move it, alright? The one on the far left, it's just base movement speed increase, just always there, 15%. Okay, this entire row is all about movement speed. What you can do here is, this is basically a feral teleport, and it is, it's basically a blink. You teleport forward by 20 yards, okay? And you can also, I think, teleport backwards by backpedaling. I'm not sure exactly. I just haven't really tried it. I just picked the baseline. You know, you go 15% faster at all times. You can pick the blink. The only thing that's really, what's a good word? Not attractive, I guess, is the best way to put it, is it's on a 3-minute cooldown. That's pretty high, okay? Then you've got Wild Charge. Whenever you're in bear form, it grants a movement ability that varies by shapeshift. 15-second cooldown. When you go bear form, you charge to an enemy, immobilizing him for 4 seconds. Cat form, blah, blah, blah. Moonkin form, you bound backwards like a disengage. Travel form, you leap 20 yards forward. And then, yeah, so I mean, that's pretty much it. It's kind of a PvP talent, I think. It may have situational use for a tank in PvE. I'm not sure. I doubt it. Okay, then this next tree is all about instance, like burst type deal. Okay, you have NS, which is your nature swiftness, same thing that it always has been. You have renewal, okay, and this is something that is more or less a tank only talent, I think. And the way this, it's a 2-minute cooldown that basically heals a druid for 30% of their maximum health. So think Death Pact in current world DKs, except there's no resource requirement for doing so. You can pop this renewal just like that on a 2-minute cooldown, and it heals yourself for 30% of your maximum health. So what's going to happen here is, I mean, in my opinion, druids are probably going to start stacking a lot of, I don't know, you could argue mastery because of the physical reduction, or you could argue stamina because of how a lot of this stuff scales, and we'll get to more of it later, but this is just one of them. It's a 2-minute cooldown with a 30% heal. Okay, I've got it right here. I'm going to go ahead and pop it here, and it can be used in conjunction. You stay there, it heals me for 70k, and that's in current gear, current Dragon Souls shit. So right now I'm at like 234k HP, nothing special. I do have a flask on, alright? So that is pretty solid. The other one here going on is protects a friendly target, causing any damage taken to heal. Wait, protects a friendly target, causing any damage taken to heal the target for 6 seconds. Gaining the healing effect consumes the Cenarian Ward. Okay, so basically this is like a GS, is what it sounds like. Protects a friendly target, causing any damage taken to heal. Okay, so I mean, I actually haven't really played around with that. I didn't read it correctly the first time around. That actually seems like it's some sort of a GS or something like that. I could see that really being very exploitive in some certain situations. I hope they won't, you know, overlook that. Like, take Impale, for example. Let me just pop my Cenarian Ward that's on a 30-second cooldown on, you know, a person that's about to take 1 million damage, and if it heals them, I don't know if I'm reading that right. It can't be. Protects a friendly target, causing any damage taken. Okay, so actually what I think happens is you still take the damage, but you just put the hot on the person whenever they take the damage. I'm pretty sure it doesn't negate the damage. So that's probably not as bad as is initially thought there. Okay, so moving on from that, Ratana is asking if that Druid renewal is on GCD. I'm pretty sure it's off GCD. It's not. It doesn't have the moving around whenever I you know what I mean? Like whenever I'm doing shit like this, it doesn't have the global cooldown indicator. We'll try it again when it's off cooldown just to make sure. Let's see, moving on to the next one here. This is kind of like CC, slow type deal, tree, level 45 stuff. And I mean, all in all, I really like what they're doing with the talent trees in general, okay? I just like the fact that it does have a lot of choice. It's not just a, you have to pick this because it gives you more damage, you know what I mean? It's very situational type stuff, you know? Like, there could be a situation where you need to, you know, go pick up, let's say, Nature's Swiftness is Feral. I don't know what it would be. I'm just saying, you know, there could be a situation for that. And it's cool to, you know, not have it be the same every single fight. You kind of can play around with it, okay? Level 45, this is, like I said, CC stuff. You have Fairy Swarm. It basically replaces your Fairy Fire, and then whenever you Fairy Fire something, it reduces its speed by 50% by 15 seconds. This one here, it's a 2-minute cooldown, roots your target in place for 20 seconds and spreads to additional enemies, affects 5 total targets, okay? Damage is basically an AoE root on a 2-minute cooldown. The one I picked up is Typhoon, so you can kind of just watch it happen here. Probably, obviously it won't move these, but you can maybe see the animation. You just saw it right there. It would knock everything back. I just picked it up because sometimes, I mean, it's nothing super overpowered, but, you know, say you're AoE tanking. Take Nephads, for example. Say you wanted a Druid tank for moving those things around on Nefarian in tier 11. You know what I mean? Like, this shit's on a 20-second cooldown. Say Shadow Blaze is coming. You have something in the wrong place. Okay, boom. Typhoon, it's out of there. They're not getting hit. You know what I mean? Pretty situational, but still probably the best out of that bunch for what a tank would need to do. Okay? Let's see. Moving on from that, you have level 60 stuff. This is... Let's see. The one I picked... Okay, this is basically a cooldown that they're giving Feral, and we'll get to that in a second. I'll go over these other two because they're pretty self-explanatory. Force of Nature, Treants, you can pick it up as any spec. And it depends on your spec what they do. I think the Guardian Treants heal you. Moonkin Treants still do the same shit. I'm sure the Feral, the Cat ones do damage as well. And the rest of the ones probably heal the raid. But I'm pretty sure that the Feral ones heal you on a 3-minute cooldown, so that's pretty cool. Then you have Soul of the Forest. It grants a blessing depending on your spec. If you're Guardian, your Mangle now generates an additional 2 rage. You know, whoop-de shit. I mean, it's kind of cool because a lot of the stuff that you do as a Druid is going to affect, be affected by rage. But, you know, I'm about to go over the one that I ended up picking, and it'll make complete sense why I picked the one I do, okay? What this does is it activates a superior shape-shifting form appropriate to your specialization for 30 seconds. You may freely shape-shift in and out. So basically what's going to happen here is, in a minute I'll do it after I go over explaining it because it's on a 3-minute cooldown. I want to be able to do it while explaining it, okay? You're going to pop this as a bear. You're going to turn it into like an Ursul bear or some shit. And what happens when you're like that is it increases... Where's it at? Okay, Incarnation, Son of Ursoc. This is what happens. Shapeshift, and the thing is, it doesn't really say it on this cooldown. So I don't know if it's like, if I have this incarnation regardless, but what it does is it increases armor contribution from all items by 120%. It increases your stamina by 20%, significantly increases threat gain, and causes agility to increase attack power, and also protects you from polymorph, blah, blah, blah. As a tank, it's a threat amp, as well as a 20% stam gain and an armor gain. So it's basically a 3-minute cooldown that makes you just, you're basically on steroids for 30 seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this, and you watch my bear. It's actually going to change into, you know, a larger bear. And the thing is here, say you need to go cat, you need to run away or something, then you can go back into bear and then pop this again, and you can keep doing this in and out. You can, within the 30 seconds. Once the 30 seconds is over, you can't do it again. So I need to go back, say I need to go, you know, put a heal on or whatever. I can go back bear form and reactivate this. Oh shit. Okay, and reactivate this until the timer wears off. So it's about to wear off here. Where's it at? Okay, there. Now it's done. So that's really cool. You can shapeshift in and out, and the entire time that it's active, again, you're getting the leather, or basically armor amp by 120%, which is huge for a druid, a tank druid. Stamina by 20%, which is going to scale even, that's going to cause druids to scale even better with stamina, because you have yet another cooldown that's amplified by stamina. And then not to mention, say I pop that, and then I want to use renewal, which is based on my maximum HP, which is now higher because of the 20% stamina gain. You guys see what I'm saying? It's got very good synergy with each other and things like that. So that's a really cool addition to the druid. I don't really know, if there's a lot of things about a druid that I just don't know are going to stick. To be honest, speaking of it from a completely non-biased standpoint, I think druids have a little bit too much right now as far as being a tank. And, there's a lot more we haven't gotten to yet, but just, we'll give it an overview at the end. I'll just leave it at that. So, but that's just my overall opinion right now. And not to mention, you get the defensive stats. You also generate threat by... it just says significantly increases threat generation and also causes your agility to increase attack power. Okay, so you're not only getting increased threat gen, you're also getting more attack power while it's active as well. So it's a really good opener and a really good cooldown, both offensively and defensively as a bear. Disorienting roar, we already went over that. The other ones you can pick in is you have bash, same shit as it used to be, except 50-second cooldown. Ursol's vortex. I'm not sure if you guys watched the 5-man videos that are on my YouTube, but you saw Diggs using that in our 5-man. It basically puts a patch of green shit on the ground, and it keeps enemies trapped within it. If they ever run out, it pulls them back in. It's kind of cool, but as a tank, I really just would... situational use. This one, nothing showstopper in this tree. Just kind of probably, pick something that's good for any fight. Moving on from that, we've got the last set here. This is Heart of the Wild as a Guardian. Or basically, the way this works for a druid is it dramatically increases your ability to serve as a role outside of your own. So if you're Spec Guardian and you have Heart of the Wild, it's a 6-minute cooldown. You can pop this and go resto, okay? And basically you can be a healer for the 45-second duration of Heart of the Wild. So say like there's 2 tanks up, your one healer died because he stood in a shockwave, a la Pix, you know what I mean? And, the tanks are sitting there and they don't have shit left, and it's like, oh my god, go, 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 kill the boss. And you only need 1 tank up. The Druid tank can pop Heart of the Wild, go into healer form, and just start dropping bombs, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like really strong raid utility, So it's a really good thing that a Druid does. Yeah, so Rutan, like you said, renewal is on GCD. I really don't think that that's bad just because of how many other things that the Druid has. It just that's kind of like the least of their worries. I mean, like they can get away, the fact that they have it in general. I mean, sure, it could be taken off GCD, but the amount of shit that a Druid's got added to its arsenal at this point, it's kind of like it doesn't matter. Let's keep going through these. Dream of Cenarius. That's like a non-tank one. Shape-shifting now removes roots, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so yeah, that as a tank, this is the one you're going to pick just to add yourself some raid utility. So those are all the talents for a Druid. We're about to go through a quick overview of the spells, like Rutan is asking. The way the spell books are divided now, you have active and you have passive. Okay, so that's it. You don't have the trees. I'm not sure if that's going to stick or not, but if it does, it should probably just take some getting used to. A couple things just to run through here. Base health increased by 5%. Same Tauren racial. That hasn't changed. Let's see. Leader of the pack. Same shit. Nature resistance. Like I said, all the resistance racials have been changed. Instead of adding a resistance value, it just reduces it by a static 1%. Okay. Nature's Guardian increases your armor by 9% when you're in bear form. Nutrient Instincts baseline. Primal Fury is baseline. Thick Hide. Baseline, and alright, let's see, let's keep going, let's start going through here. The way this goes, it's baseline to apply 3 stacks. You go ahead and hover over that like he was asking, causing 3 applications of weakened armor debuff deals. Looks like that number is actually scaling off something. It was actually higher there for a second, so I probably had a proc going, but whatever. Let's try to find some. Okay, so here's a couple other things I want to go over right now. The Druid, I'm not done on cooldowns. You still have your survival instincts. Every tank still has their shield wall, 3 minutes, 50% damage reduct, okay? And as a warrior, still 2. So what's happening here is there's also, I'm just showing you the shield wall. Now what they did here, you still have Frenzy Regen, but it's been renamed. Well, it depends, okay? Your Frenzy Regen right now does not have a cooldown. So what happens at this point is it costs 60 rage to keep active, and it basically increases your healing taken by 40%, so it's like a Vamp Blood, except there's no cooldown. You can keep this rolling for 60 rage, and it's active for 6 seconds. So basically what they did to a Druid and a Warrior as well, and we'll get to that, is they make you choose between, you know, do you want physical reduction, or do you want increased healing for magic damage? You know what I mean? So if you're in a heavy physical damage fight, you want to do, you know, you want to do your Savage Defense, and I mean you can do both, but you're not going to be able to actively keep both you know what I mean? You're not going to be able to keep both up just because of the rage requirements of them. You see here I'm trying to keep both active, and the way that it works now is nothing costs energy, it just, you use it to gain energy, like your, let's see here, like your Lacerate, okay, one sec. Let's go ahead and pop this. If I lacerate the target, okay, it looks like that gave me, I think, 13 rage or something. Basically, you gain rage from attacks, and you use the rage to use your abilities, okay? So you have to pick between Savage Defense to mitigate physical damage, or you can pick between Frenzy Regen to give yourself amplified healing through magic damage. Now, the bonus Last Stand portion has been renamed into Might of Ursoc. So what happens with this, what we're going to do is I'm going to pop this, I'm going to see if it stacks with the Incarnation, Son of Ursoc, and then see how much this renewal hits me for. Okay, so what's going to happen here is, by the way, the Son of Ursoc is also on GCD. The only cooldowns you have off GCD are Bark Skin, Last Stand, and both your Savage Defense and Frenzy Regen are, and yeah, Last Stand are all off GCD. Your Renewal and your Incarnation are on GCD. All right, so what's going to happen here? We're going to go ahead and we're going to pop Last Stand, the Mega Bear, get some rage here, and we're going to pop this, and then we're going to pop Renewal. Okay, 98k right there. So we basically have all of the stamina modifiers that we can get, plus the 40% increased healing, and then we pop the Renewal. Okay, so that was 100k heal. That basically almost healed me for half my HP. So, I mean, there's a lot of this stuff with a bear that's going to be able to synergize really, really, really well. Okay? And, you know, that's... So if you're just looking at it from what they added from a Druid, they split Frenzy Regen into 2 abilities. You now have the Last Stand portion, and you now have the Amplified Healing portion. You still have your Survival Instincts. You still have Bark Skin. You still have... Or you got added the Incarnation, Son of Ursoc, and you also got added the 20%... I'm sorry, 30% heal on a 2-minute cooldown. So you basically got 3 cooldowns that you didn't have before, 4 if you want to count Savage Defense. So there's a lot more with a Druid. A Druid's got a lot more going on than just sitting there attacking the target and trying to let your Savage Defense proc, or, you know, I mean, just relying on RNG. I mean, it was just, I'm not going to lie, the Druid tanking was a lot less complex than some of the other classes, and I'm not saying Druids are bad, I'm just saying that it was a lot easier to play a Druid than it was some of the other classes that had a lot more going on. What they're doing is changing that, and it's also to the point where a Druid may be the most complex class at this point, just because they have so much different shit that they can juggle. It's right up there with a Death Knight and a Warrior. The Paladin, and this is what just kind of doesn't make sense to me, is because they make all these changes to the Druids, the Warriors, the DKs. You know, I mean, the DK's kind of been manualized for a while, but they still added some to the DK as well. And then the Warrior, we're going to get to that, they added to the Warrior, and then they just kind of like took away from the Paladin. They took away the DSAC, they took away... you know, the Holy Shield, but the main thing you're going to be doing as a Paladin is just keeping your Shield Slam debuff up, which is only doable with 3 Holy Power, and outside of that, you're Roar to Glorying yourself. You didn't get any added cooldowns, you know what I mean? You still just have your Div Prot, AD, and Guardian, you know what I mean? So, who knows, maybe they're still going to tweak Paladins a little bit. It does feel like they're a little bit further behind as far as number of cooldowns, but that doesn't mean that they're going to be inferior in any way, because the Word of Glory buff is pretty huge, as well as being able to keep Sacred Shield on yourself now as well. So, you know, we'll see how it goes, but quick thing, I'm going to go over some glyphs for a Feral Druid. It's kind of shitty. You still have to glyph Rebirth as one of your 3 glyph slots to come up at 100%. I'm curious what it would be if you didn't. I forgot. You still have the Frenzy Regen glyph. It says they're 40% more powerful. I wonder if it wasn't glyphed. Let me see if I can delete this. I'm in combat. Let me see if I delete this and see what it does. Okay, so now, yeah, you don't get any amplified healing. If you want to reduce this, or if you want to unglyph it, it converts 10 rage per second into health for 6 seconds. Okay, that's just shitty. Yeah, you need to have that glyph pretty much as a tank, guaranteed. I really don't think of any situation where that would outweigh 40% increased healing from all of your healing sources. Sure, maybe at some point, but not a lot. You can have Fairy Silence. It's basically gag order for a Druid. Dash reduces a cooldown. Let's just stream through these real quick. Maul, 2 targets again. Stampeding Roar, this is a really solid one. You can put this in, and there's no more glyph cast time. It's a lot simpler this way. And the way that it works here, I mean, you pop in Rage, and what do I have it bound to? Shift 9. You basically, it's got a, you see it hit people a lot further away, you know what I mean? So it's, it increases the range by 30 yards. Okay, so it's, what, 40 yard now, I think? Yeah, 40 yards. Okay, so that's cool. Glyph of Survival Instincts reduces the cooldown by 60 seconds, but reduces its duration. Okay, so this is actually really well. I didn't even see this earlier. So what you can do with this is you can glyph Survival Instincts, and it turns it into a 2-minute cooldown, which still reduces 50%, but it's only 6 seconds active instead of 12 seconds. So say something like Impale, you know, if it would allow you to maybe take an extra one. It just depends. If the frequency of the fight is like, you know what I mean? It's a talent that you could use. If the frequency between the ability is 2 minutes instead of 3, using this glyph could allow you to glyph that and get your 50% off. You don't need the whole 12 seconds at all times. Sometimes you only need it for those 2 to 3 second window. You know what I mean? This just goes back to my talking about an AMS glyph. You know, a lot of times you don't need the full duration of a cooldown. Shield Wall's not really that way. Sometimes you do need it, but if it's something that's burst damage that you know you need the cooldown for, you don't need it to be 12 seconds. So I could actually see that being a really solid glyph. Okay, a couple other ones here that I don't have Learn. Bark Skin, still the same. Let's check out the rest of these. Innervate. No. Okay, Might of Ursock increases the health gain for Might of Ursock by 20%, but increases the cooldown by 2 minutes. So you can actually glyph this to give you 50% health, but it's going to be on a 5-minute cooldown. I could see that being very, very, very situational. I can't think of many times where you would want that to be on a 5-minute CD. But it is out there, and you do have the option. Okay. That's pretty much it as far as tank goes. All this shit is just like, you know, I can go travel form, and I should turn into a, I gotta drop combat, maybe. Oh, wait, here we go. Yeah, you go travel form, and you turn into a deer. Alright, so yeah, that's funny. Haha. Okay, yeah, but other than that, nothing super special going on. But that is the rundown of the Druid. Okay, I don't think I missed anything. Let me just fly through this super quick. Maim, same shit. Lacerate, same shit. Nature's Grasp. Yep. And then, of course, you guys know Symbiosis, but it's a completely separate can of worms, okay? That is that. I'm going to go ahead and scroll through and see if you guys got any questions about the Druid, and see what you guys have. Okay, this one guy was saying check my armor. So what we're going to do, I was saying about this, the bear form stuff that's listing while this is active. I'm not sure what he was talking about. We'll look at my armor. We'll see actually how much it gains. We're going to pop the Son of Ursock. Where's armor? Should be on defenses. We don't even have it up here right now. Hang on. Okay, so we're at 62k right now. We're going to pop that. Yeah, he's right. It doesn't increase your armor. But it still does increase your stamina? No? Let me see something. Okay, so what he's saying is those are actually bear form tips, or tool tips, so you're only getting the talented thing, which... Oh, another thing, I didn't even mention this about this. Everything, while that is active, is like 1.5 second cooldown. So you can mangle every 1.5 seconds, you can taunt every 1.5 seconds. It's basically any melee damaging abilities, and growl is on 1.5 seconds. So, yeah, there may have been a little miscommunication on that. I was thinking that I was looking at the tooltip and thought it increased that, but those are actually just the bear form tooltips. It just has those listed on this ability, but it doesn't actually give them to you. So, apologize for the miscommunication. I'm pretty sure that's what's happening. I have to wait for it to come off cooldown, but just to triple check. But I'm pretty sure that's what it's doing. So you're not getting the health. You still are getting the threat gain. And, actually, no. Wait. That is bear form as well. So actually all this should be... But with what he's saying is, the only thing you're getting from this Son of Urstock shit is no cooldown on any of your abilities. And, it's basically vigilance every 3 minutes for a bear druid for 30 seconds. Okay? It's still pretty cool. A little less overpowered than what I thought. Actually puts it in line a little bit more. I'm kind of glad that's not doing what I thought it was doing, because it was kind of annoying that druids were getting so much cool stuff. So, yeah, apologize for that, but thanks for the clarification. That guy got it. Let me see what else he's got going on. Trying to make sure I didn't miss anything. I'm going to wait for this to go back off cooldown, and then we're going to try this again. Where you guys are saying that when I popped last stand, it removed it by going Mega Bear. That's a pretty... Yeah, it requires bear form, so I guess that transforms you into non-bear form. So I guess that would make sense because you're not in bear form. So obviously a little bit of confusion on that we need to iron out, but that ability is there, and you guys can read the tooltip and learn at the same time that I am. Like I said, I'm... One sec. We're going to try this again when this comes off cooldown. Okay, here we go. It comes off cooldown. So we're going to pop last stand. Okay, I am at 62,000 HP. I'm going to pop last stand. Or I'm sorry, okay, so I'm at 304k, and then I'm going to pop this. It actually did. So I'm going to go back bear. It actually, yeah, it cleared it completely. So that's pretty shitty. That's a good catch for you guys watching. I didn't even catch that when I was messing with this earlier. So that's kind of, I mean, but either way this goes, it's not like it's taken away from a druid, like, oh my god, that sucks, druids are shit. I mean, like, look at this. Remove this from the equation. Like I said, you still have your shield wall. You still have bark skin. You now have frenzy regen split into two abilities. You have your last stand portion and then your plus healing portion. On yours to manage, the plus healing portion has no cooldown. The last stand is still what it was, 3 minutes. Then you also have the ability to keep Savage Defense up, which reduces your physical damage taken by 40%, and you can almost keep 100% uptime on that on a heavy physical boss. And not to mention, the way that the mastery works for a druid, just to recap, is, it increases your armor, okay? Mine is 9% right now, so, I mean, I don't have that much mastery. I didn't really gem any. There's just some hybrid mastery gems. I kind of focus a lot on stamina. But, who knows? Maybe mastery will be the new thing to do for feral druids, okay? Let's see. Yes, DK and Paladin walkthroughs are available on YouTube. Just go ahead and check that out. You still have Berserk, yes, so go ahead and pop that so you guys can see. Still the same thing, right? There's still Berserk. Still doing the same thing that it was. Alright. Nothing new there. Still have Swipe, like I said. Keep up Savage Defense. And things like that. Can you tell us a couple words about Mists of Pandaria changes, which brings tanks to more utility? Actual self-healing for soloing. What are the core abilities for solo? An example, a Guardian Druid would be good as Blood DKs. I mean, a Druid's still not going to be as solo ready as a Blood Death Knight. I mean, a Blood Death Knight's kind of designed for that. It's going to end up taking more damage, but as a result, it's going to be able to heal itself more than any other tank. Okay, the Druid's not really designed that way. A Druid's going to just mitigate things through its massive amounts of armor and now controlled savage defense, physical mitigation, and things like that. But and the same thing with really a Paladin. A Paladin is going to be pretty up there with a Druid, Death Knight. A Paladin and a Death Knight are pretty. With the Word of Glory change, I don't really see how you're going to have problems dying as a Paladin. So anytime trying to solo old content, Warrior and Druid, they're just more mitigating. I'm sure you're going to get some self-healing through your 2-3 minute cooldowns, shifting in and out, using some of the hybrid abilities that they have, but it's not good. You're not going to be able to sustain like a DK would, or even a Paladin at this point. Let's see. Yeah, we like bear tanks. They said that we like bear tanks being the entry level, like the easier class to pick up. But yeah, they kind of like change that all around. You got a lot of different stuff you can juggle it all. Do you see leatherworking drums on my bar? Yes, you do. There you go, leatherworking drums of speed. It's fun stuff. How much armor do you get per mastery? I am. Where is it? Here. Okay, so I got 6.84 mastery out of my gear, which is, I only have 1,226. Like I said, I don't have any gems, none of that. I mean, no trinket, nothing. So I'm not really focused on mastery. Can you use B-Res or Trank in bear form? I have not tried to Trank in bear form. Let me try it. Nope. What's the ability to the left of my growl? That is Savage Defense. Yes, I put that in place of my old Pulverize. Okay, so that's what you keep up. We'll go over that. Let's see. Specking of the last talent on the left. Man, you can't respec. The trainers are broken. So if you guys want me to test anything out on the Druid tank wise, I can't change it. All right, but let's see, one thing I will show you guys. How do I? Let me do this. I need a tome of the clear mind. Whatever. I need to go pick that stuff. Okay, so that wraps up the Druid portion. Wow, this actually took quite a while. We're going to power through the warrior shit. I don't care. Alright, so we're getting on the warrior super quick, and then we're going to do that. So if anybody has questions about the Druid, post them on my Twitter, and I'll try and help you out. Okay, so, don't go anywhere. We're going over the warrior stuff right now. But if you have any questions that pop up about the Druid, make sure to keep them, and we'll know. Like I said, I'm still learning about a lot of this stuff, as you guys are. I'm just kind of streaming it, and I have went through it a little bit and kind of got a feel for it, but I haven't gotten everything, as the guy caught with the Son of Ursoc thing. Do you guys want to do that? I could do that. I could just do the warrior stuff tomorrow, like super in depth. Would you guys rather me power through the warrior stuff today, so we only got like 20 minutes, or would you rather me just take my time and go through warrior stuff tomorrow? I can hop on I can hop on some of the other stuff and show you some more stuff today on the other classes. What would you guys rather do? You guys want to see the warrior stuff super quick or super in depth tomorrow? Alright, cool. I'll give you a quick preview. Alright, this is... What the fuck? Why are all my buttons gone? Just should have joked. Oh my god, man. I just set all this up. Alright, well, I'll get the button set up for tomorrow. Quick thing I want to show you guys about some changes on the Death Knight. They actually changed some of these, and I'm not sure for what reason they changed them, but you remember when I was going through the Death Knight changes the other day, what was happening is the Outbreak, Veteran of the Third War, as of the other day, was not decreasing the Outbreak cooldown. You actually got expertise. And I mean, in the end, who gives a shit about expertise, right? Like, it is irrelevant. Okay, so what they did was actually applied some logic to the situation. Hey, tanks aren't really going to want expertise, so let's give them something that they need, and they put Outbreak back on a 30-second cooldown. Now, it might not seem like a big deal to you guys, but it's a pretty big deal. All right, so they already fixed it by putting Bone Shield without runic, without a rune cost. Bone Shield no longer costs a rune, and I've already went over all this stuff. You guys can check this out on the YouTube, but I just want to show you this because it's a change that they made. They actually put Outbreak back on a 30-second cooldown, which lines up with your diseases and gives you no gap whenever you have to keep your diseases active. So, you know, I mean, obviously it can still miss, at which point you need to apply it, but it increases, you know, I mean, you don't have to do it as long as it's hitting. All right, so that is one thing I just wanted to point out, but I mean, I still stand by it. Some of the stuff about the DK that's just super awesome is just this conversion talent, man. You just turn it on, you're just healing. You're still generating runic power while you're healing. You know, I mean, it's really strong. Like, I haven't toggled it off yet, so, you know, still going. It's just ticking for almost 7K, and I'm actually wearing my work glaive and shit, so it would be a little bit higher. You know, you can keep it going. I've actually got a few rune strikes in there. I was hoping to get some RE procs, but you know, this conversion talent is just, there's no cooldown on it, so it's super awesome. You can go into that more in detail on my YouTube and things like that. So I'm really liking the way the Death Knight's headed. I like the way that the Druid is headed, and you know, I don't know. I mean, as far as the Paladin goes, I mean, we'll just log on that super quick and let you guys see that. We've already went over this, and you guys can check it out. One sec. You know, the Paladin stuff, you just have to keep up. Shield of Righteous, it's you know, 3 holy power. You keep it up. The thing with this is, it's just like, it doesn't make sense to me because I don't know, man. It doesn't feel good because it's like, you know, it's going to take you, I mean, I don't know, maybe you won't be as hard pressed to maintain a 3 holy power rotation as I think you will be. But let's see here. This is just like a normal rotation. Let me see. It's falling. It's falling. All right, it was down for about a GCD there. So without any like procs or, I mean, fuck, man, if your CS misses or something like that, I don't know. It's going to be pretty rough, I think, to try and keep that up compared to some of the other classes. And then like your mastery, all that your mastery is doing, I'm just trying to think how this works, because if you're not able to mastery, like if you're not able to block cap, I'm trying to see what their reasoning is behind giving druids the constant mitigation, and then you have the paladin, which, you know, when you hit with a shield of the righteousness, that's basically keeping up holy shield. So that's kind of the same thing that holy shield is now. But the reason a paladin is so overpowered almost is just because you can guarantee you will never take a full hit. And you are, you know, and like Ratana said, you know, you're going to be hard strapped to do other things with your holy power. Like, say you need to wog yourself. Okay, well, you're going to wog yourself, but now you're going to be taking 25% more, or 25%. You're not going to have the 25% amplified block on your normal block chance. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, I don't really see what they're going for there, because as a druid, you can keep up the savage defense buff 100% of the time. You can. And then not only that, but your mastery mitigates every bit of the incoming damage. But now you have the Paladin. Sure, they're going to be able to Word of Glory themselves, but they're going to do that at the cost of having their block block like a wet noodle. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, okay, you want to buff your block up real quick to above holy, like 55%. Okay, well that's cool, but you're not Word of Glorying yourself. You know what I mean? So it feels like they're giving the Druid their cake and letting them eat it too, and then the Paladin's getting put, with some dumplings on a platter that are, 2 days old. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, basically the Druid's feast and the Paladin's famine. It's just, I don't get it. It's just kind of like not making sense to me. We'll see how it goes with the duration of, the beta testing. This is very, very early. I don't want people flipping out. Don't go post on R&D like, oh my god, I watched it on Rig's stream. You guys fucking neutered Paladins. I'm going to have to delete. You just want everybody rolling a monk. Don't get involved with all that shit, okay? I mean, I'm sure there's going to be some changes, but just as of right now, these are just initial impressions from how things look, okay? So, it is what it is, okay? So, I mean, that's the Paladin. You guys saw the Druid and the DK. What we'll do tomorrow is go over the Warrior really in depth, all right? And, a lot of the things about the Warrior is, it's got some pretty cool stuff going on here. I want to show you guys one thing where, all right, we're going to get rid of, let me go see if I can see if there's these tome of the whatever the fuck in the inscription vendor, so we can re-glyph real quick. And this is cool now on the vendors, you can like select shit. You don't have it at all. Wrong guy. Wrong guy. Here we go. All. Do we got it? No. Of course not. Let me go see if there's any on the age. I want to spec into this talent super quick and let you guys see it. If you guys have any, I know you can buy the new 5-man, but I'm not in the new 5-man right now, and it would take me a bit to get there. I was trying to do it right now, and let you guys check it out. What was the name of it? Tome of some shit. Tome of, oh my god, I can't spell. Tome of, alright, there we go, 200 gold. Just ball 3 of these. Fake money! Alright. Fake money. It's already, gold is already fake money, and now it's fake money on a fake server. So you get double fake money. Okay, so what we're gonna do here, I want to show you guys this talent that I was wanting to try that I haven't yet, and we're going to spec into this Holy Avenger talent. And what it does is you're going to. This is how easy it is. I just respect right there. Done deal. Right. All right. So I did. It says any ability, okay, so this is an ability, let's go ahead and get it on my bar. What the hell was the name of that shit? Holy Avenger. Here we go, Holy Avenger. Let's put this at, wait, what? Where's my Guardian of the Ancient Kings? Why do I not have shield wall on my Paladin right now? No, I said Divine Guardian was gone, meaning your DSAC for the raid. I never meant that my shield wall was gone, but I can't. What the fuck is happening? Okay, well, if you don't have a shield wall on a Paladin, I'm probably missing it, bros. You guys calm down. Give me a second. It's here. It's gotta be here. There's no way it's not here. There's no way that it's not here. I'll leave it at that. There's just no way that you do not have a shield wall. Or it's either tapped into another ability. DivProt, somebody said? No, it's still... I have it glyphed. It's just the 20% shit. Interesting. Okay. Div prod is 40% magic because I have it glyphed, broskies. I'm pretty sure. Maybe not. Maybe not. Okay. So, cool. You now have baseline div prod only reduces magic damage. I did not catch that. Let me add that to my deal. Okay. Div prod only redux magic damage 40%. I cannot find... I'm going to make sure I'm not losing to the top of page 2. Let's check this out. No, that's bubble. Hang on. I'm going to make sure I'm not losing my mind, man. I'm pretty sure that I screenshotted all of my keybinds on all my shit the other day. I definitely had Guardian. There it is. Okay, so it was here. There, that's it. That is Guardian right there. It was on my bar 100%. So where the fuck did it go? Let's see. I don't know what's going on, but what I'm going to show you guys was what I did here. I am going to pop this ability, and you see here every ability that generates 1 holy power now generates 3 holy power. Okay, so okay, boom, boom, boom. Let's keep up. Righteous Shield Slam. Then you Crusader Strike, Quarter Glare. So this is really cool, but the problem with this is it's this is probably what I'll end up going with is Prot. You know, like I say, every ability, and it's already over. So you get like 5 or 6 abilities out of it, but it is on a 2-minute cooldown. So I can see that being really, really well. But yeah, I'm not sure what they're going on. They're obviously changing Paladins around still because I don't even have Guardian right now. So we will see how that goes. Who knows? Maybe they took it away and you guys don't have shit. I would laugh because Rutana would probably cut himself. But all in all, 1 second. Alright, cast Guardian of Ancient Kings. Alright, he's got it. Boom. It's still there. I just don't have a button for it. So what we'll do here is we'll make a macro for this. Guardian. Alright, we're going to show tooltip Guardian of Ancient Kings. Cast Guardian of Ancient Kings. Alright, so let's go ahead and put this here. Okay, boom. Back in the mix. Never fear, gentlemen. There's always a solution. It's still there. But just to keep you guys with your tinfoil hats on, maybe they're taking it out, and this is just the first step. Okay? Who knows, man? Alright, so either way, I took the whole show today and went over all the Druid stuff. And make sure you guys also check out the DK and the Paladin stuff that I've went over on YouTube. I will have this uploaded within 24 hours. And then tomorrow we're going to go over Warrior stuff. I'm also going to do the special guest interview stuff. It's going to be with Adele on his rogue. So if any of you guys know any rogues or just want to come hang out and just see what's going on Friday, you know, we'll do the special guest interview. And then probably maybe right after that, we will do the Warrior walkthrough. Because we don't really have a lot going on Fridays. But, you know, we'll see how it goes. We'll play it as it happens. Play it by ear. You guys make sure you're here at 5 p.m. And, you know, be ready to start tomorrow. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. That's a lot of new info. And make sure that you're, you know, sticking around. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you're new to this channel, make sure to hit the follow button. This is like a, you know, this is a weekly, daily event. We have a show going on here every day at 5 p.m. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Follow the channel. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube, follow on Twitter, all that stuff. I am Moused Over Guardian. Stop asking. It's been up for like 30 seconds. Anyways, if you guys want, if you can, hit the chip in button below. Help me out trying to get a new PC built so I can, get 1080p streaming coming your way. But all in all, thanks. We have some raids going on tonight, so you guys don't bounce. And we will, keep it going. I'm just going to chill out a little bit before the raid. So thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions that I wasn't able to answer, put them on my Twitter. But thanks again. You guys have a good day. Good talk.